safe in a rehearsal space should be a given. However, that's not always the case. Today, I'm going to give you some tips to create a good working environment for everyone and introduce our first intimacy strategy, the button. There are some important things to set up at the beginning of the rehearsal process. Some will prevent future issues and others will be in place in case problems do arise. Now, my list today is not going to be exhaustive. They're just some ideas that you might like to put into your startup process. 1. Who did the cast go to if issues arise? This needs to be clearly stated at the beginning of the rehearsal process. The standard is director, choreographer, stage manager, etc. But if the cast member's having a problem with someone on the production team, they're not going to want to talk to them directly. So you need to give them some other options. One could be the production liaison officer. That's a representative from the committee of the theatre company that oversees the show. The other is a cast welfare officer. This is someone that's nominated by the cast to be their representative and come to the production team with any issues that may arise. I'll talk more about the cast welfare officer in a future video. 2. Introduce the concept of open questioning and encourage its use by the cast. Simply put, you want people to ask, how do you feel about, rather than, is this okay? Is this okay makes people feel like they need to say yes, whereas asking them how they feel gives them a chance to consider the question and answer honestly. It's also good to remind cast members that they must ask for consent before they touch another cast member. It sets a clear expectation. The phrase, "Would you like a hug?" is another one that's good to use amongst cast members. 3. Check in with the cast at the beginning of each rehearsal. I like to use a number system. Each cast member gives a number between 1 and 10 according to how they feel. They might give one number or they might give two, a mental and a physical number. For example, I might be mentally feeling an 8, but physically feeling a 5. Knowing how people are feeling also helps me shape my feedback for that rehearsal. If they're feeling mentally below a 5, I'm going to try and keep things generally positive and to not be too nitpicky. 4. Let the cast know that it's okay if their boundaries change. I like to include a boundary check-in after my number check-in, and this applies to all cast, not just those with intimate scenes. For example, if someone's had a vaccination, then their arm is going to be out of bounds for that rehearsal. I'll also check in specifically with those with intimate scenes and see if they're okay to run their scenes in full for that rehearsal. The answer's usually yes, but by continuing to ask, you'll make them feel okay about saying no when they need to. 5. Introduce intimacy strategy 1, the button. The button is a word that's used to pause intimacy, like calling for a line. It can be used to check blocking, to take a break, or to request to use placeholder actions for that run. For example, if you suddenly feel a sneeze coming on and you're about to kiss another actor, you can use that moment to call button so that you don't sneeze in someone else's face. My last cast decided to stick with the word button. If you decide to choose a different word, make sure it's irrelevant to the show and doesn't provoke a reaction. So not stop or moist. Keep it bland but memorable. These are all things that I've implemented in my rehearsal process. The button strategy is a newer one for me, so I haven't seen its full impact yet, but I look forward to using it in the future. Thanks for joining me on Music and Theatre Education. If you're enjoying this series, please like, subscribe, and share with your theatre community. Please reach out if you have any questions. And remember, passion fades. Choreography is forever.